Hi, I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math, and today we're learning about multiplying rational expressions.
Minute Math, when you need help you use Minute Math.
So we're given this expression right here, and we want to simplify this. Well, let's break down what we know. So 59, well, that's a prime number, doesn't really break down. 80, well, that's we know was what? 2 and 40, and 40 again can break down to be, was it 2 and 20, and then we have 2 and 10 being 4 and 2 and 5. 33 is well just 3 and 11, and 99 is well 3 and 33, and 33 we know to be 3 and 11. And looking here, I'm trying to see things that I can cancel and simplify out from the denominator to numerator, and there's nothing that actually simplifies out. I can't cross off anything. The only thing I really can see is, well, the ends. There's an n down here and an n up there. Okay, so I broke it down, didn't really find anything, so now I just have to multiply across. 59 times 80 is, well, 4,720. Over 99 times 33, 3,267. And that's actually it here. It's fairly large, but that is our answer in simplified form. We're given this expression right here. 53 divided by 43 times 46n squared divided by 31. And we need to simplify this. Well, one thing off the bat I see, 53, 43, and 31 are all prime numbers. So my goal is to try to cancel some things out first. Well, since they're all prime numbers, they don't share a common divisor, I guess. And 46, well, 31 doesn't go into 46 evenly, and neither does 43. So we actually just have to multiply across the numerator and across the denominator. 53 times 46 is 2,438. Don't forget the n squared. All over 43 times 31, 1,333. And 2,438 n squared over 1,333 is our final answer. We're given this expression right here, 93 divided by 21n times 34n divided by 51m, and we want to simplify this expression. So my goal here first is to see what we can cancel out. There's an n here and n here. That's pretty easy. 93, well, that is 31 times 3. Let's break these down. 51 is 3 times, well, 17. And 34, well, that's 17 times 2. And 21, that is what, 3 times 7. So now what we're going to do is, well, what can we cancel out? We see a 17 here, 17 there. I see let's keep it even. 3 on this side, 3 here, okay? And I think that's pretty much it. Kind of left with everything else left over here. So we're going to multiply across the numerator. 31 times 2 comes out to be 62. And then the denominator, 7 times 3 is 21. But don't forget that n right there. N. And so our final answer here is just 62 divided by 21n. We're given this problem right here, 79n divided by 25 times 85 divided by 27n squared, and we want to simplify this expression. So let's break down our numbers. Well, 79 is a prime number, doesn't really break down. 25 is 5 times 5. 27 is 3 times 9. And 85 is 5 times 17. Okay. Well, n squared is n times n. We got one n here. So if we get rid of that squared, we can get rid of that n. We can cancel out a 5 in the denominator and 5 in the numerator. We'll cancel out. And I'm not seeing anything else I can really cancel out here. Nothing else really simplifies. I mean, there's 9 I can break down to 3 times 3, but kind of pointless there. And so now we have to multiply, well, across. 79 times 17 is a 1,343. We're going to put that over 5 times 3 times 9, or really 5 times 27 here, is 135. Don't forget that n. And there we actually have our final answer, 1,343 divided by 135n. We're given this problem right here, 96 divided by 38n times 25 divided by 45. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, let's break down what we know. 96 is 16 times 6, and 16 we know as well 4 times 4. 38 is just 2 times 19, and 25 is 5 times 5. 45 is, well, 5 times 9, and we know as well 9 is 3 times 3. Okay, so we've broken this down. Now we're going to see if there's anything that can cancel out from our factor tree, really. Well, the 5's here, right? 5 and 5 cancel. Anything else I can see cancels? Well, I'm trying to think. Do I see anything else? Did I get anything else? I don't see anything. Oh, 6. I didn't break down 6 all the way. That's why. We have 2 times 3, right? 3's cancel here. 3 here. 2 here. 2 here. Oof. If you didn't notice, I forgot that 6 to break down. Let me know. Anyway, so now we're basically done. There's nothing else that cancels out. So we can multiply them out. 4 times 4 times 5 comes out to be 80, divided by 19 times 3, which is 57. Don't forget that n. And there we have our final answer, 80 divided by 57n. We're given this problem right here, 84 divided by 3 times 48x divided by 95, and we want to simplify this expression. Well, let's break these down. 84 is 6 times 14, and 14 is, well, 7 times 2, and 6 is 3 times 2. Okay? What about 48? Break that down. 48 is 8 times 6, and 8 is 4 times 2, which we know 4 is, well, 2 times 2. And 6 is 3 times 2. 95 is, well, 5 times 19. We're kind of done there. All right. So let's cancel where we can. 3's cancel right here. Is there 5 in the denominator and the numerator? No, and that's, well, basically it. Nothing else really cancels, so there's not much really going on here. So let's go multiply the numerator out. 2 times 7 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 2, or 48, comes out to be 1,344. Don't forget that x. Divided by, well, just 95. 5 times 19. We didn't cancel anything out there, so 95. And so 1,344x divided by 95 is our final answer. We're given this expression here, 6r plus 2 divided by 20 times 4r divided by 6 times r plus 2. And we need to simplify. Well, right off the bat, this actually looks fairly easy. We have a 6 here and 6 here, r plus 2 here and r plus 2 here. We can cancel them out. What about, well, 20 and 4? Well, 4 goes into 20 5 times, cancel out that 4. We're pretty much simplifying this. It's actually pretty easy. On the numerator, multiplying across, we just have a good old r. The denominator, we're left with 5. And that's it. Our final answer is r divided by 5. We're given this problem right here. 7n squared times n plus 4 divided by n minus 3 times n plus 4 times n minus 3 divided by n plus 8 times n plus 6. And we need to simplify this. Well, I'm looking for things that I can, cross off. I mean, n plus 4 here and n plus 4 here. Done. Well, this n minus 3 and this n minus 3 can cancel as well. And, well, there's nothing else I see that can cancel. So let's go multiply across the numerator. Well, it's just a 7n squared left over. The denominator is just that, well, right here. N plus 8 times n plus 6. That's all that's left over. And there we have it. 7n squared divided by n plus 8 times n plus 6 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 2 times p plus 6 divided by 4 times p minus 3 divided by 2 times p minus 3. And we need to simplify this expression. Well, I try to find things that I can cancel out from the numerator and the denominator. There's a 2 here and a 2 here. Cancels each other out. P minus 3 and this p minus 3 cancel each other out. And there's really nothing else left over that I can cancel out. So, bring things over. I have a p plus 6 in the numerator divided by, well, the denominator is just a 4. And so p plus 6 divided by 4 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 9 times r plus 4 divided by r plus 4 times 9r divided by 9 times r minus 5. And we need to simplify this expression. Well, I'm looking for things to cancel out. Well, there's a 9 here and a 9 here. That cancels. And I see an r plus 4 and an r plus 4 in the numerator and denominator. They can cancel out. Other than that, I don't really see anything else that can cancel. So let's go multiply across the numerator. 9 times r is just, well, a 9r. Denominator, we're left with just r minus 5. And so 9r divided by r minus 5 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 8 times m plus 1 divided by 7m times 9 divided by 8 times m plus 1. And we want to simplify this expression. I'm looking for things that I can, well, easily cancel out. I see an 8 in the denominator, cancels. 8 in the numerator, cancels. M plus 1 in the denominator, as well as m plus 1 in the numerator. We can cancel each other out. And nothing else really jumps out to me that can cancel out. So we bring the 9 over, we bring the 7m over in the denominator, and that's it. 9 divided by 7m is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. P plus 6 times p minus 4 divided by p minus 4 times 1 divided by p minus 4 times p minus 2. And we want to simplify this expression. So I'm looking for things that I can cancel out from the numerator and the denominator. I see a p minus 4 here and a p minus 4 here. They can cancel out. Nothing else really jumps out that can quickly be eliminated. So bring that over. I have a p plus 6 in the numerator. The denominator is that p minus 4 times p minus 2. And we're in simplest form here, and there's nothing else we'd like to simplify. So p plus 6 divided by p minus 4 times p minus 2 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 1 divided by v plus 10 times 10v plus 30 divided by v plus 3. And we want to simplify this expression. So I'm going to try to simplify where I can. This 10v plus 30 looks like I can pull out a 10 from it. So if I pull out a 10, I'm left with, well, v plus 3. Okay? So I'm going to kind of cross that out and replace it with the 10 times v plus 3. Now we can see some things that eliminate. The v plus 3 here and this v plus 3 cancel each other out. So what are we left with? Well, nothing else that really cancels. So the numerator, I'm left with that 10 divided by v plus 10 in the denominator, and there we have it. 10 divided by v plus 10 is our final answer. We're given this expression right here. 7n divided by 24n to the third power minus 64n squared times 9n minus 24 divided by 7n. But we want to simplify this expression. Well, the denominator here, I can pull out an 8 and I can pull out an n squared. And so what am I left with? Well, that's a 3n minus 8. So I'm going to cancel, cross that out and put this in place of it. Up here, same thing. I can pull out a 3. And we're left with a 3n minus 8. So I'll mark that off that I've replaced that with something else. And now I can cancel some things out. Notice the 7n here and the 7n there. They cancel. We have a 3n minus 8 and a 3n minus 8. They cancel as well. So now we have to go, well, multiply across here. 3 is what's left in the numerator. And the denominator, well, is actually left just 8n squared. And so our final answer is 3 divided by 8n squared. We're given this problem right here. X plus 7 divided by 7x plus 35 times x squared minus 3x minus 40 divided by x minus 8. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, first let's go see if we can, factor some of these things out. 7x and 35, or plus 35, if I pull out a 7, I have an x plus 5 left over. So I'm going to rewrite that as that. Then, this upper part here can factor. So, what two numbers multiply to be negative 40, but add to be a negative 3? That's a negative 8 and a positive 5. So I'm rewriting that x squared minus 3x minus 40 in factored form. And now I see some things that I can cancel out. We have an x plus 5 down here, x plus 5 up here, x minus 8 here, and an x minus 8 there. And I think that's it. That's all we can cancel out. So we bring over the x plus 7. We bring over that 7 right there. And that's it. X plus 7 divided by 7 is our final answer. We're given this expression right here. 20a squared minus 100a divided by a minus 1 times 1 divided by 16a to the third power minus 80a squared. And we will need to simplify this expression. Well, this numerator up here, I can see a 20a's in both parts. So if I pull out a 20a, I'm left with 28 times a minus 5. So replacing that, let's cross that out. Down here in the denominator, I see 16 goes in both parts as well as a squared. Pull out 16a squared, and we're left with an a minus 5 here. So we replace that. Alright, now it's in factored form. We can see what we can cross out. A minus 5 crosses out fairly easily right there. We can see, a squared here and 1a, so we can get rid of the square and get rid of that a right there. And then 20 and 16. We can simplify that. 4 goes into, both of them. So that becomes a 5, and that becomes a 4. And nothing else really simplifies. So let's kind of clear this up. 5 comes across here. 5 times 1 is just 5. Denominator, we have 4a left over. Times, don't forget that a minus 1. And there we have it. 5 divided by 4a times a minus 1 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 3b squared plus 18b divided by b plus 6 times 1 over b plus 8. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, let's look at our numerator right here. 3b squared plus 18b. I can pull out a 3 as well as a b from both parts. What am I left with? Well, that's just a b plus 6. So I have now 3b times b plus 6, and it's going to replace that 3b squared plus 18b. Nothing else really simplifies here. Well, kind of. b plus 6 and b plus 6 will cancel out. Now, nothing else really simplifies from the numerator to the denominator. So let's multiply out the numerator. 3b times 1, 3b. Denominator, b plus 6 and b plus 8. Well, no b plus 6, it's just a b plus 8. b plus 8 here. And so, that's it. That's our final answer, 3b divided by b plus 8. We're given this problem right here. P plus 7 divided by p minus 10 times p plus 2 divided by 7p plus 14. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, what I'm looking at here is trying to see what I can break down. And 7p plus 14 I can. I can pull out a 7 in both parts, and I'm left with, p plus 2. So 7 times p plus 2 is the same thing as 7p plus 14. So let's go replace that. And now I see, a p plus 2 and a p plus 2 can cancel, and there's really nothing else that cancels. So let's bring over the p plus 7 in the numerator, the denominator, 7, and then p minus 10 here is being multiplied. And really, that's it. P plus 7 over 7 times p minus 10 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 21x squared minus 21x divided by 18x squared minus 18x times 6x divided by 6x squared. And we need to simplify this expression. Well, in the numerator here, I can see I can pull out a 21 and an x, and I'm left with just, x minus 1. So since I simplified or factored that part, I'm going to cross that part out. I'm going to do the same thing with the denominator. 18 goes into both parts here, as well as, well, an x. We're left with just an x minus 1. Okay? Alright. And then that's really it for right now as far as factoring. So let's cancel out what we can. Clearly, I see an x minus 1 here. I see an x here. They're out. 6's cancel. This 1x and this x squared cancels. And well, 21 and 18 are both divisible by 3. 21 becomes a 7, and 18 becomes a 6 there. Okay? So I've crossed off a whole bunch of stuff. Hopefully you can stay with me here. What's left in the numerator is just that 7. So take your time here. What's left in the denominator is this 6, as well as that x. Don't forget it. And so 7 divided by 6x here is our final answer. We're given this expression right here. 1 divided by p minus 9 times p squared plus 6p minus 27 divided by p plus 9. And we need to simplify this expression. Well, I first have to look at this and say, okay, anything else I can really break down or factor? And right here, p squared plus 6p minus 27 looks like it can factor pretty easily. What two numbers multiply to be negative 27, but add to be a positive 6? That's a positive 9 and a negative 3 here. So now we replace this with our factored form. Now we can try to cancel out what we can. I see a p plus 9 here and a p plus 9 right there. Nothing else really easily cancels. So now let's write it out. 1 times p minus 3 is, well, p minus 3, divided by p minus 9 is just left over here. And so that's it. P minus 3 divided by P minus 9 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. V minus 7 divided by V plus 6 times 10V plus 60 divided by V minus 7. And we need to simplify this expression. Well, I'm going to see if I can factor something out. 10V plus 60, I pull out a 10 and I'm left with a 10 times V plus 6. And yes, that's a V. Well, that can be replaced here, so we cross out the 10v plus 60, and we replace it with our factored form. Now we want to see what we can cancel out. V plus 6 here, and this v plus 6 cancels out, numerator and denominator. And actually, same with the v minus 7 and the v minus 7 here. So I'm left with just, well, in the numerator, a 10, nothing's in the denominator, and that's it. It actually simplifies pretty quickly. Our final answer is 10. We're given this problem right here. 5r plus 50 divided by r plus 10 times r minus 2 divided by 5. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, I can see I can pull out a 5 pretty quickly here. 5 comes out, and we're left with an r plus 10 on the inside. So let's replace that. Anything else I can see that can be factored? Not really. So let's cross off what we can. 5 here, and 5 in the numerator. R plus 10 in the denominator, R plus 10 in the numerator. So this actually simplifies pretty easily. Our final answer, or bring over just the R minus 2, that's what's left. And that's it. That's our final answer, R minus 2. We're given this problem right here. X squared minus 10x plus 25 divided by 10x minus 100 times x minus 10 divided by 45 minus 9x. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, this first part right here, we think it looks like it factors pretty easily. So let's do that. What two numbers multiply to be a positive 25, but add to be a negative 10? That's a minus 5 and a minus 5. Minus 5 times minus 5 is 25. Negative 5 plus negative 5 is a negative 10. All right, so we can cancel that out right here and just rewrite it in factored form. Same thing here. I can pull out a 10 from both parts. Pull out a 10, and I'm left with, well, x minus 10 here, so replace that. Now 45 minus 9. If I pull out a negative 9 from both parts, I'm left with a negative 5 plus x, okay? All right, we're now actually a pretty good point. We see the x minus 10 right here. But notice the negative 5 plus the x is the same thing as x minus 5. So these cancel as well. So what are we left with? Well, Our numerator, we have an x minus 5. The denominator, we have 10 times negative 9, which is negative 90. Let's put the negative out here, out front. And there we have it. Negative x minus 5 divided by 90 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 45x squared divided by x minus 9 times x squared minus 5x minus 36 divided by 3x to the third plus 12x squared. And we need to simplify this expression. Well, this numerator right here, I can see factors fairly easily. So we set up our form, and what two numbers multiply to be negative 36, but add to be a negative 5? That's a negative 9 and a positive 4. Negative 9 times 4 is a negative 36. Negative 9 plus 4 is a negative 5. So they cancel it, or we'll replace it with our factored form. Denominator, same thing. A 3x squared is in both parts. Pulling that out, I'm left with just an x plus 4 there. So we replace that as well. Now we need to simplify or cross off what we can. X plus 4 here. X minus 9, x minus 9. X squared and x squared. And well, what's 45 divided by 3? Well, that's 15. And so after all of that, everything really cancels out except for, well, just the 15 comes over. And so our final answer here is just 15. We're given this problem right here. 8v minus 56 divided by 8v plus 48 times v squared plus 9v plus 18 divided by 8v squared plus 24v. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, what I want to do is see if I can factor these out. I see at 8v minus 56, I can pull out an 8, and I'm left with a, well, v minus 7 here. So I'm going to replace that. Denominator, same thing. 8 goes into 48. So if I pull out an 8, I'm left with a, well, v plus 6. So we replace it. Now v squared plus 9v plus 18. Looks like it can factor. What two numbers multiply to be 18 but add to be 9? And that's 6 and 3. 6 times 3 is 18. Add the 2, we get 9. So let's replace that with our factored form. Lastly, down here, an 8v is in both parts. So if I pull out an 8v, I'm left with, well, a v plus 3. So 8v squared plus 24v cancels out, or is replaced in our factored form. So now I have everything kind of factored out. Let's see what we can cancel out. V plus 6 here. V plus 3 here, V plus 3 right there, and, well, an 8 and an 8. And nothing else seems, and that was kind of jumbled. So take your time with this. Nothing else seems that we can cancel out. So what are we left with? V minus 7 comes over. That's the only thing left in the numerator. The denominator, we're only left with an 8v. So that's it. V minus 7 divided by 8v is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. 9r to the third power minus 54r squared divided by 9r squared plus 45r times 9r squared plus 9r divided by 9r to the third minus 54r squared. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, I'm going to try to simplify each little part if we can. Let's factor some things out. A 9r squared is in both parts right here. So if I pull out a 9r squared, what am I left with? Well, just r minus 6. So let's go replace that. Same thing down here. 9r is in both parts. Pull out a 9r, and we're left with an r plus 5 here. Replace that. Again, we see a 9r is in both parts, so pull out a 9r, and we have an r plus 1. Replace that. 9r squared is in both parts here, so we pull out a 9r squared, then we're left with an r minus 6 left over. And so we replace it. So each of the 4 parts, really, we could pull out something. So now, let's cancel what we can. I see an r minus 6 and an r minus 6. Let's cancel that. What else? Well, 9r squared and 9r squared cancels. 9r cancels, and this 9r cancels. I know it's very jumbled. Take your time. Nothing else seems to cancel here. We bring over the r plus 1, bring over the r plus 5, and that's it. R plus 1 over r plus 5 is our final answer. We're given this problem right here. M plus 1 divided by 3m minus 15 times 8m minus 80 divided by m squared minus 9m minus 10. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, let's go see if we can simplify each one of the four parts. 3m minus 15, I can pull out a 3 and I'm left with an m minus 5 here. So let's go cancel that out and rewrite it as such. Same thing with this numerator. I can pull out an 8 and I'm left with an m minus 10 here. So let's replace that. This m squared minus 9m minus 10 looks like it can factor pretty easily. What two numbers multiply to be negative 10 but add to be a negative 9? That's a negative 10 and a positive 1. So let's replace that now with our factored form. So now we have it really broken apart. Let's see what can cancel out. M plus 1 here cancels. Got it. M minus 10 can cancel out. Got it. And that's really it. So let's go bring everything over we can left over. 8's in the numerator. Over, well, just 3 times m minus 5. And so that's it. Our final answer is 8 divided by 3 times m minus 5. We're given this problem right here. 6n plus 6 divided by n plus 9 times n squared plus 6n minus 27 divided by 6n plus 6. And we want to simplify this expression. Well, let's go simplify what we can. Let's factor some things out. 6n plus 6. I can pull out a 6 and I'm left with an n plus 1 here. So let's go replace that. And actually, that same thing happens out here. 6 times n plus 1, right here, pull out that 6. And at the end, we actually probably could just cancel those two out. All right, this upper part here, that looks like it can factor pretty easily. What two numbers multiply to be negative 27, but add to be positive 6? Minus 3 and a positive 9. Negative 3 times 9 is negative 27. We add the 2, we got a positive 6. All right, so now it's factored factored out. Let's cross off what we can. Like I said, 6 times n plus 1 is the same thing really written twice here. So we could have actually just crossed it off from the beginning, and I probably should have, but now you can see that, well, pay attention, you might be able to cross things out early. N plus 9 cancels out with this n plus 9 as well. So what are we left with? Well, just that n minus 3 in the numerator, and that's it. Our final answer here is just n minus 3. Hope this video was helpful for you, and if it was, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video. This helps us make more free math lessons for you and for everyone else. So as always, thanks for watching.
Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. Minute Math. Minute Math. When you need help, you use Minute Math. MinuteMathTutor.com.